Hello, Amy. Good morning. So I just wanted to go over a few things after watching what's been going on the last week because I haven't felt well. So we'll just get right to it and people can leave comments on the replay.
Summer Wells is still alive?
We hope so, but honestly, we just don't know. I mean, we're holding out hope, doing everything we can. Obviously, we typically would have found a child at this stage in the investigation, so honestly, we just don't know.
So this dispatch call was on June 15th, the morning of. I'm going to play two of them that happened that day. And since Fred was back and forth to the scrapyard, it just got me wondering. So let's listen to him.
Route to South Tech Road. So I was off of 11W. It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile down South Tech. There's a maroon truck. Appears to be abandoned, partially in the roadway. Route to South Tech Road. So I was off of 11W. It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile down South Tech. There's a maroon truck. Appears to be abandoned, partially in the roadway.
So that was a call about a maroon truck that was abandoned in the roadway on Choptack Road. That was that morning between 8:15 and it says 8:45. But let's listen to this one. This is where it gets a little bit crazy. Good morning, Lisa.
Go ahead. 36, I know you're out at the ER. I just received a call advising there's two kids, approximately a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, standing on the side of the road. Going to be right around the East Tennessee Iron and Metal, waving at cars as they go by. No adults are around. They're close to a blue house. 10-4, I'll get them when I clear here. 10-4, he's going on a patrol check of 2 children on 66 South, standing by the roadway with no adults. He clears that pretty good. Give that to him well. So, traffic over here a little bit. 347. 47? Today, 1 and 2 in Rutherford Davis. Go ahead. 36, I know you're out at the ER. I just received a call advising there's two kids, approximately a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, standing on the side of the road. Going to be right around the East Tennessee Iron and Metal, waving at cars as they go by. No adults are around. They're close to a blue house. 10-4, I'll get them when I clear here. 10-4, he's going on a patrol check of 2 children on 66 South, standing by the roadway with no adults. He clears that pretty good. Give that to him well. So, traffic over here a little bit. 347. 47? Today, 1 and 2 in Rutherford Davis.
So that day, Fred was going back and forth to East Tennessee scrapyard scrapping cars. And it's funny, two kids were on the side of the road. And also, the responding officer that day was at the hospital. Wasn't that where Grandis was that day? I just find some of this a little odd. What do you guys think? It's a little, just makes you think about things a little.
That's about 3:30 when I got elected. That's when Andy come in around that time. I elected him. And we left just when I was at the store one. That's about 4:30. Because,
So you think someone went missing around 4:30 was the time that she came over?
you know, it was something between.
Because she didn't call till 6:30.
I left here at like 4:30, and then when I come back in, they done had the holler shut down. And I had to take it. I mean, they let me in. They had to move everything to let me in.
Sorry to bother you, Candace. I didn't.
So, did he go out at 4:30 or was he out that morning? Or did they know he was loading cars to go to the scrapyard? And was he set up? Were they trying to set him up? Just a lot of things don't make sense, and I guess we won't know till law enforcement comes and lets us know what's really going on. But then I wanted to play a few clips from some of the things Candace said.
You told us once you had to get some proper permission to search and everything. But I mean, you still want to help us? You still want to do that? I mean, what? I mean, where are we?
Okay, check this. You guys just can't search my property. That's all there is to it. And
Okay.
that comes from a higher up, like a way higher up.
A way higher up.
And I can't do nothing about that.
Who owns the property? You own it, or does who else?
No, Donnie owns the property, but I am his wife, so
Right.
it goes hand in hand.
Is he the higher up that said I couldn't search?
Nope,
He's not.
nope. I've been told that by a lawyer.
Oh. How did the lawyer know that I was wanting to search a property?
Man, don't you think fucking the lawyers don't watch YouTube, dumbass?
I don't know if they do or not. I mean, Lord
Hell
have
yeah, they
mercy.
do. Everybody
Wow.
watches YouTube.
Let me ask you a question. Was it a lawyer or was it a private investigator told you not to?
No, it was a lawyer.
So was it a lawyer who's directing them not to let people search? Who's the higher up? If Fred's telling the truth and there's multiple people involved, who are they? You say perhaps both. You believe the setup, as with Dudley and Dobbs, the perfect storm. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And then, of course, they've shut Ziggy off from talking to him. So if there is law enforcement involved, then Fred's probably in danger, which is a scary thought, because at least if he came out to the public, at least we all know what's going on. And if something happens to him, I don't think people will be all right with that if he's not involved. It's a scary thought. Did we all forget about the two children? I remember it now, Summer and Journey. Right, exactly, Foxglove. Because remember, Marlena supposedly came and got Journey. But we won't know that until law enforcement lets us know. But it does make you wonder. Yeah, you do feel worried about Fred. Yeah, if he was choked, it makes you wonder. Epstein died in custody. And if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. Because the world knew he was in jail, just like we all know Fred's in jail. But it does make me wonder, because there's pictures where Candace was smoking and she was, ash was dropping on her, and it kind of looks like the residence next door to that blue house, not the blue house, but next door to the blue house. So it does make you wonder if that was a place that she frequented or not. It's just another angle to think about.
Is it possible that Summer's parents, Candace and Dawn, had something to do with this, or have you ruled that out?
We haven't ruled anything out. Everything's possible.
That young man had a story to tell, and he told me right out there in his driveway after we were told to go see this person. And let me remind you, you've been looking for a red Toyota truck Tacoma with a ladder rack in the back of it, right? With some ladders in the back of it.
And that red truck and the person he was talking about was Don's boss, has a red truck. If you watch Killer Look's loop about it, the company, Tucker Drywall, has a red truck with ladder racks. So was Don driving that because he couldn't be tracked that day? All these things just start making you wonder what the hell really happened that day. Because I don't believe any of their stories. And I think Fred has the most to lose by telling what he's telling. But he also could be involved. We won't know.
We were told to go see this person, and we spoke with this person. And this person said that we should go to the horse pond. And he said that he spoke with Don Wells, which is the father of Summer Wells, approximately 3 hours is what he said, after she was gone missing. And that Mr. Wells had concerns about his daughter, but he talked about a book and talked about a sacrifice, okay? A sacrifice.
Yes, Killer Look does a bang-up job on his loops. You know, he takes the information and he puts it all together. And then when you know, you've been here from the beginning, and you know the things that are coming out now, things really start to fit into place.
The thing about it is, you never know who's really involved, you know? I'm asking for Jesus Christ, and I know that sounds weird, but I'm seeing someone stabbing her, and you'd think just a little kid would be easy just to choke. For some reason, I'm seeing someone stabbing her. And this guy, it's almost like theater. Like he's dressed like some kind of character. Gross. Like, okay, I'm seeing a knife being used. Chris and Jeff. So I'll look up any names. I mean, they're...
You know, I reviewed all Donna's readings again today, and really, she gives good clues, which I'm going to do a video about that tomorrow. It's just weird how she knew exactly what happened to JJ and Tylee 4 months prior to them being found. So if this is true what Fred says, then her reading about the location would be right. Blessed Mimi. Have y'all listened to Donna's one video when she's talking about possible location in the Strawberry Blonde guy? Yes, I listened to every one of them today just to see if it matches up with what Fred's telling us. And I could show y'all on the map Like, you know how she said twins? Let me see if I can pull it up. I just want to show y'all something. I know a lot of people don't believe. I didn't believe until after JJ and Tylee's thing happened. We'll let this finish playing and then I'll pull up the map.
Yes, because I decided to stay at work longer because they wasn't going to be home. So I thought, well, I'll just get a couple more hours in. And that's when they got home. I was sitting talking to one of my buddies on the job site for a long time. We probably sit and talk for an hour and 15 minutes, and then I got that phone call, and I started throwing my tools in the Subaru and hauled ass for the house.
Why did you take the Subaru from Candace and that day? Did you?
Well, I didn't take it from her. She had my Suburban and other vehicles. We had all kinds of vehicles at the time.
Why'd you switch it up though? Is what I'm saying, because I said something that I want to retract right now if it's not true. It was when I said that it was a power play because I thought Don was mad at Candace and he took it from her.
Well, no, nothing like that. It's just that I wanted to put some miles on the Subaru. I was paying all kinds of money for it, and I thought, well, I'll use it for a while and put some miles on it, let my truck sit and rest for a while.
Yeah, that's crazy for him to say. He said at work, but you know, in one of Donna's readings, it says Chris and Jeff. Well, there's a Chris Killian that works at Eastman, and then Jeff Killian worked with him, and that's the one he was supposed to have talked to for an hour that day. So I wonder how many people are involved. But I'm going to pull up this map real quick. Let me go to my projects. Let me share it with you guys. So that's the dump that's the Chop Tech Road where that maroon vehicle was. And that's the scrap yard. But you remember where she said, so this is the doubles that runs through here. And this is called Wolf Pen, where another person did a reading where they seen Wolf. So I just found it strange. Here's Lone Star, which was in her reading. Here is that, and it's like Laurel Park. If that's where they find her, it matches up. Also, she talks about this. She says, but I know that wasn't done in Summer's hair. She said, remember in the 80s when people did their hair a certain way? And then it was like that. I was like, wow. So if Fred's right, oh, did I show it to you guys? I didn't even add it. Well, no, not that one. I guess I did show it to you. I re-listened to her stuff last week. I was looking for the first one she done that spoke of a fork in the road, and I couldn't find it. Yeah, I think she took one down because I was looking for something else too. So I'm new here to your channel. I've been following the case since it happened. You popped up in my feed, so I thought I would listen. Sorry, I realized you said that I was hitting send. LOL. Well, hello and welcome. Here we give everybody an opportunity to voice their opinion, no matter what it is on this case. I just had found a few things odd for that day. that came up in the beginning, but now it really makes you wonder what Fred had said. I'm praying that they find her. I'd rather them find her alive, but it's a scary thought to know that something more sinister happened. You always want to think that the best outcome, but I just find this odd with the things that were said in her reading. Like I said, I'm going to do a video about it, but I can only use clips, certain clips, because when I had emailed her a while back, she just said she didn't mind if you use clips, but then send everybody to her channel to listen to it. I like your demeanor, Artie, and agree to disagree. Yes, ma'am. Thanks for having me. Oh, yeah. I think we can learn something from each other. I always say that. You know, I said if somebody can show me why the parents are innocent, I'll listen. You know, at this point, nobody knows. We all are speculating. I believe they're involved because of their actions, their statements, and things they didn't do. But that's my opinion. We all have one. Yeah, that would be great, Amy, so people could go and listen themselves. You know, I'm not trying to push anybody to believe. I'm a Southern Baptist, and I can tell you, I didn't believe. What do I think happened to Summer? I think that she was sold, my personal opinion. I think they met somebody at the horse pond. I think they may have left in a boat because the way Summer was waving to somebody while she was in the water there. And I believe something went bad wrong. I don't think that Candace unalived her daughter, and I don't think Dawn did, but I think they may have thought they were going to get her back, rented her out, and when she came back, it wasn't what they expected. But, you know, that's my personal opinion. What do you think happened, Blessed Mimi? I'd like to know what other people think. Because eventually we'll know. I don't think law enforcement's rounding these people up for nothing. I think everyone that's got arrested, it's because law enforcement seen that they were in the area or close to the area that day. I know they have video of people in the area because I watched one of the surveillance videos and seen a few of the vehicles that went in the holler that day. I think Andy knows. I think Jody Sue knows. But that's my opinion. Because why would Jody and her daughter say that Andy seen Summer's body in the beginning? And also, why would Jody Sue say that Andy was selling drugs on that hill to sedate the kids so they can be touched? Yeah, just because you're angry don't mean you say such detailed information as that. And in my opinion, oh my God, yes, ma'am, you did notice how it looks like someone else was swimming further out. I think it's either sold or strongly feel like it was a drug debt and they took her. And both things are possible. But I think if they took her I believe the parents still know who took her. That's my opinion. You know, they say opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Channel called Hikes where David shows the Laurel Run Trail and explains about it. He said, I think it goes to Bays Mountain. Yes, Foxglove. And you remember, I don't know, most of y'all's followed this case from the beginning, but you remember Tim doing that video at Bays Mountain that he said were for the brothers. It's just weird that after Donna did her reading, Jody Sue got her panties in a wad, and then Tim did that strange video where he admits to talking to Don's judge and all the like clues that she gave Donna. He videotaped certain areas, which was really strange to me. And then for him to go back and sit at the school and listen to children get out of school where you can hear them in a distance, that was really weird to me. Absolutely, they know. That's why Candace responded to the behavior panel. Yeah, I think it's a group of them. I think they're about to reel in, I want to say 7 people because Don says he has 7 alibis. So it makes you wonder, is there 7 people involved? Do I think, excuse me, do I think a dead man did it by himself? No, I don't. I know years ago my house got robbed and nobody would talk. And then this one kid passed away. And of course, everybody started pointing their fingers, including the 2 other people that was with him when they robbed my house. But they, of course, waited till years later when he passed away to say something. I have the same theory. Wasn't it strange hearing Don describe Tim's high-quality videos? Yes, ma'am. And when he said, oh, to get a child, all you need to say is puppy, kitty cats, horsies. He learned that from his sisters, is what he said. Betty Jean Necessary was found in a cave. Yeah, and it would make sense for this guy to be able to stash her where nobody could find her, since he was an avid outdoorsman and he lived in the area his whole life. Yeah, what's up with Jody Sue not going live when this new info hit the streets? You know, she's very much aware it's out here. So, in my opinion, she's lurking in them bushes. She's probably crapping her pants if she's involved. Maybe they've rounded her up too. I haven't checked to see if she's in jail too. Wouldn't that be something? If we search and Andy Bernard and Jody Sue's both in there. It is strange for her not to be raging about the new info coming out. Sometimes what people don't say or don't do tells a whole lot. She's made my hair stand on end from the beginning. There's a few of them that have along the way. Yeah, Amy, well, you know, people will realize we all don't think alike. It's a good thing because this world would be boring as hell if everybody thought the same way. If we were sheep, it wouldn't be a nice world to live in. Yes, Lisa, exactly. It's not like her because every time something comes out, she is a raging lunatic. So her not coming on says a whole lot. Yes, he creeped me the hell out whenever Tim said that there are so many sickos that surrounded those babies. It's sickening. Yeah, it made you wonder if there was an online call that says, hey, if you're a pedo, come to Hawkins County. I don't know. There's other people. It's just strange. Some people said, oh, that they found property online. I just don't know if that's all the way true either because they have relatives that live right in that same area. So it just makes you wonder who all's involved. Because I've always questioned how Andy got Dobbs's number. That's always bothered me. If you had a big fight and a group of people ran you off, are you going to give them your phone number? That don't make any sense to me. So I hope law enforcement has waited this long to make sure they had an ironclad case. When all this is said and done, we don't want them walking off like Barry Morphew did in the Suzanne Morphew case. I think Candace rented Summer out from a young age, and Don didn't know because he wanted Summer for himself. I agree, YouTuber. Yeah, that would be awful if they let him walk away. Yes, I do, blessed me. I definitely do. Well, you know, their neighbor, Sherpy Jr., got busted by putting them kind of pictures and videos on Snapchat. That's how brazen they are. You know, it's ridiculous. Oh, yeah. He can blend in anywhere. He's like a chameleon. You know, he says, oh, the only people he hung out was church people. He didn't be around all them other people. But then you go back into his past and you find the boogeyman and all the sickos that he lived with. So he does hang with them kind of people. He also hangs with church people. But where do them kind of people have to do their probation, their community hours? They usually go to a church because they don't have to do so many hours that way. I'll just be glad when it's over and Summer gets justice. That's what I've wanted from the beginning. It's the whole reason I started my channel. That was an automatic red flag to me. People who are really like that don't talk so much about it. Nope. He tries to convince you that he's right, that he's telling the truth. There's a lot of their body language that says a lot too. Sorry, I had to let my dog in. I think she waits till I get online to decide she wants to run in and out. So yeah, all this Fred stuff. I just don't understand why they banned Ziggy from talking to him because I've looked online and I can't see where there's an issue with that. I mean, news crews go and interview people like that all the time. Well, say it, Amy. That's what we're here for. Because I'm hoping sooner than later we find out exactly what happened. It's sad I worry about is the animals, though. I'm thinking about seeing if I can get a delivery company just to deliver food and open the bag if they hadn't picked them up yet. Morning, Kimberly. But I heard from a great source that Don named Summer after his favorite star, Summer Moon. I don't doubt it. If it's true that CPS was meant to arrive on the 15th, it makes me think that Don was part of what happened this summer. Oh, I believe he knows. I definitely believe he knows. He slipped up a few times, putting himself at the house when she went missing. So, yeah, I believe he knows. I believe there's numerous people that know because they sure made sure to put somebody's paying people to have been online, especially real heavy in the beginning, which was odd. Like I said before, they even hired a crisis actor company, and I think the TBI knows exactly who it is. I know for a fact they know. So they should be able to follow the money. Amy, I know someone called their daughter after an actress, a sexy one. So despicable. Yeah, it's crazy, but that's the kind of crap they do. And you see, it's like a generational thing. Makes you wonder where, with Brandon Lawson, where did he learn that kind of behavior? Or is it just in them? Because we see Donald Jr. is a registered offender. Just Summer's dad's never been caught. I'll be shocked if Don knew nothing about it. That will floor me, really. But I think Brandis knows too. And I did find the connection between New York, the guys who came from New York, and one of Candace's relatives. So I think y'all find that real interesting. I've just been sick for the last week, so I hadn't put nothing out. Let's just say I'm very familiar with the prison in Tennessee I'm from. I have a brother and sister there, and when justice is served, they're already anxiously awaiting for that train to show up. Yeah, it just makes you wonder, are they going to run now? It's usually learned behavior. Yeah, and it's sad if they were a victim of it because Brandis's brother did some atrocious things, so atrocious that they put him in a mental ward over it. And I've always wondered if Candace was one of his victims. Oh, thanks, blessed meaning. Oh, I went to the hospital. I have a cyst or something on my kidney. But of course, you can't get to the kidney specialist till August of next month. Well, to the end of August, I mean, which is a long time to be waiting. But it is what it is. Oh, I'll never believe Don isn't at least half responsible, at least as much as Candace. So many people took his word for being at work that day, but never actually verified. Well, how do you verify it? Because if he was working alone, he had fired Dudley the day before. For a reason. I believe that too. All right, blessed Mimi. I'm not going to stay on real long. Yes, lots been happening this week. It's just crazy that they shut it off. I mean, I can see in a way they don't want the investigation to be compromised. But they should have told Fred not to talk to anybody about it. Or are they letting it get out for a reason? It's them things that make you wonder. Well, that's good, Amy. Thank you. All right, Amy, I will check it. Nope, they just gave me antibiotics. So I don't think that'll make it go away. I just can't wait to see who all's really involved, to see if we were right all along. You know, they talk shit about all of us YouTubers, but it's only because we care. Yes, there are people who make a lot of money at it. Not everybody's here for that. You come here because you want to find answers for this child. Well, thanks, blessed Mimi. Well, Kimberly, that I wonder that too. I wonder did they find her at Laurel Park? Or was it the kid in Virginia? I'm still wondering about that. Because I've emailed them numerous times, left messages, and nobody has got back to me. It's been 10 months. By now, you'd think they would know something. It's not from St. Clair either. Oh, it's not far from St. Clair. Oh, I know, Amy. My brother did that, and he ended up dying. He thought he had a hernia, and it was cancer. So I won't be doing that. I think Fred wanted to get that out to Ziggy in case something happens. Yeah, and I think that's the best thing he could do for his safety if he's telling the truth. Because, other guards at the jail have been arrested for the same thing. That Randy Hoss, he was once a jail guard. Well, Red Miller, Ziggy can't talk to Fred anymore. They shut that down. He can't talk to anybody. Honestly, feel like that could be why they almost killed Fred in there. Oh, I believe that too. If he's not involved, then that's a good possibility. Good morning, Sonia. I wonder if Fred Hill's had the polygraph yet. If not, I'm sure they'll do it on Monday, but we'll never know. Because I'm wondering if they're even going to let him email her. Today I googled has Summer been found, and last month, on the 23rd, it was published that Summer was found 8 months after going missing. I suggest everyone see for themselves. Yeah, Deeves Presents did a video about that. When she asked Google to take it off, they said no, that it's been verified, so they won't take it off. So I find that crazy. So that means they would have found her, what, February of 2022, if that's true. Oh, YouTuber said that was a hoax. That TBI confirmed that. So yeah, we won't know till they start arresting others. And does anybody know if Laura has bail? If Fred's girlfriend has bail or not? Because I find it strange she's one without a record not to have bail or get ROR'd. I guess I'll have to look it up. But I know that child in Virginia still hasn't been identified either. Whose kid is that? Somebody's missing a baby around the same age as Summer. If it's not her, it's somebody's baby. So I guess the only way we'll get updates from Fred is if he gets out of jail. And it don't look like that's going to happen. But there's a reason they gave him a high bond, too. I think they want to keep him there. Somebody does. I think we're going to find out there's some really wealthy people also involved. And I'll say it again, Sherfy didn't get 1,000 images and videos overnight. Somehow he connected with the group who all traded. And he stored it up. When you find one, usually you find a whole group of them. That's why every time somebody gets arrested with them kind of videos, I send Summer's missing poster and ask them to make sure that she's not in any of the videos. Do you know if it was the same one, like put out on May 23rd, 2023? Right, Amy. YouTuber said he thought, or she thought, I don't know if it's a he or she. So what is your guys' opinion? You believe that arrests are going to be soon? That this case is going to wrap up and then go to trial? Because I'm going to do my damnedest to be at the trial every day. We've all wasted 2 years of our life for whoever hurt this child. Absolutely. Yes, the rest coming. Yeah, it's kind of like you can feel it in the air. But I felt that before Fred got arrested, it felt like something was coming. Yeah, and I wonder if they're gonna, it makes you wonder how many people have died. I think this is number 8 now. If somebody is killing these people who may have had information. I've always wondered if Earl Taylor, seen something he shouldn't have seen because they found him face down the next day. Yes, I believe there will be arrests soon. I think everyone will be upset if they blame it on a dead guy. Oh no, he isn't the only one. I mean, if what Fred's saying is the truth, they said numerous people involved, and that's probably why they've shut Fred down from talking to the public. It's one of two things. They allowed him to do it because they wanted information to get out, so everybody would start chattering, people would start running, or they didn't expect him to be talking to anybody because they were arresting Laura, and they didn't think anybody would be able to get in touch with him. So I'm not sure which. The new News Nation piece, when the anchor spoke to Chris M., that was good. Seemed like Lawson saying in the near future is a great thing. Yeah, when he said that, that kind of, but then when that new photo, age progressed photo summer come out, and I was like, shit, this is, what he's going to talk about. But no, I believe that. I believe he's waiting. Because he don't want to leave that seat he's sat at for so long with the tarnishment on his name. Because what his son did, he doesn't want that to be the thing people remember him for. He'd probably rather it be that he solved this case. So we have to give them kudos if it's because they're got an ironclad case built up. Because where they say, law enforcement can lie, where they say they didn't get no pings in the area, I think that's bullshit. Seems like everybody who's went on that hill hasn't had problems getting videos and calls out. So we will see. They can't do it soon enough for me. Maybe Jody's staying offline because she don't want them to arrest her where the world can see. Can you imagine her to be doing a live and bitching about what Fred's saying and they kick her door in? I mean, come on, that would be the best thing ever. It gave me hope because despite what people think, David Rouse did call Chris in. David Rouse is top person in TBI. Yep. Yeah, this case, and I wish Michael Vaughn's case. I wish they would find Michael. But see, they moved Michael. Somebody in that was involved in that moved him because I think they knew the girl was unstable, that it was driving her nuts. Not soon enough for me either. I can't wait to meet you at the trial. Oh yeah, because I will be there. No matter what. I don't care if I got to sit in an overflow room. I think that's the time when whoever's done this to this child gets convicted, that's the time for a big party and celebration. Oh, I know, poor Brandy. My heart breaks for her. I know, she's such a good mom. It's devastating. Another reliable psychic has said for a while that justice will come this summer. Hope she's right. I feel like you do. I haven't been able to sleep either. I won't be able to sleep tonight. I'm too stirred up. I know I'm hoping that we will turn it on after going to sleep and arrests have been made. Yeah, Amy, I said we should get a big Airbnb and everybody who's followed this case, we should all stay at a big giant Airbnb and go to court every day, however long it takes. Because we've all just wanted justice for her. But I think she has saved others because I think law enforcement has been watching them for a while. So it's not like they could just go business as usual. Yeah, I think that would be good for all of us to get together. But I have to look at it like these 2 years, they haven't been able to run heavy drugs unless there is law enforcement, somebody in law enforcement or higher up involved. Yep, Sonia, that's what we've all wanted these last 2 years. They may not. It depends who the judge is. You know, Tim has friends. He personally talked to the judge that Don went in front of for his DUI, so how many of them does he know? I mean, it's a giant case. Hopefully the judge has a giant ego where he wants to be famous, you know. Oh yeah, right, Amy. So other children hopefully haven't been injured during these 2 years because of that. I think all of them are liars and evil. And the sad thing is, they're good at it. Because look how many people support them. All the suspects, not just Dawn and Candace. So that it just makes me wonder if a jury will be like that too. You know, where half believe them, half don't. You know, it seems like they've been preparing the public to look at them in a different light. Like going on daisies. Right, YouTuber. And then how many of these other people? Because I can't wait till it's over, because then I'm going to bring some names out of certain people who have been in the comments, in emails, who you know for a fact that are planted in YouTube to divert the narrative, to attack people when certain things come out. I'm not trying to get off topic, but the affidavit for Harvey Montgomery was a nightmare, so I have a terrible feeling Summers will be as bad. Yeah, and it tends to be that way here lately. what these people do to their own children. Just like the man in Ohio. Now he confessed to shooting his kids. Everybody knows he did it. Now he's pleading not guilty. It's unbelievable how Don and Candace are still getting cash apps. Yeah, and I don't understand how people can send them money, any of the suspects money, knowing that this could be the perpetrator to what happened to Summer. Well, I'm in Australia, so I hope you all live stream from court if you can. Yeah, I pray that they'll let it air on television, but I want to be there for it. If not, we'll update you. We'll do whatever we can from the courtroom. If it's just tweeting, like they had to do in the Lori Vallow case, at least you knew what was going on in real time. You didn't have to wait till it was all over. But we can just pray that the judge has a big ego and wants to be known. Do you think CW really broke her foot? No. That's that sympathy shit, I think. I can't get help to save my life and these criminals get drug money. It's gross. I know. I believe DWCB and CH have guilty knowledge of Summer's disappearance. Me too. I don't think they actually hurt her themselves. I mean, unalived her. They hurt her, but I don't think they unalived her. You're from Melbourne in Florida? She was begging for money for a homeless family the other night and was supposed to go live to show what she bought for them, but that never happened. Now she needs money from a broken foot. And they probably have a whole bank account full of money if the truth was known. Because if you were so hurting for money, why wouldn't you just go home to where you don't have but an electric bill? It's got to be less than what they're paying at that motel. Oh, you're Australia. Washington. Yeah, I'm Florida here. Lori says she thinks they're involved to 100. Yeah, I don't seem to get anybody over here who are for them. You know, I don't hate them. I hate what they could have done to their own child. I don't hate them, per se. Oh, Australia's beautiful. My dad wanted to move there when we were kids, but we didn't want to leave our friends. We were in high school because he worked for the railroad. He was an engineer, and they were trying to get him to go there, but we didn't want to leave our friends. I wish we would have. Florida here too, Larry says. It'd be nice if Monday morning they rounded them all up, or Sunday in the middle of the night. They usually come and get them in the middle of the night. I hate how they've given up on all their kids. Well, they never wanted them to begin with, I don't think. I mean, once your kids are taken from you, you shouldn't be able to have more, especially if you abused the first ones that were taken. Justin bought the tent, and Candace just conveniently said the family is not there anymore. Yeah, and if he got them through, you know, a lot of YouTubers even do that. They get people to send them gifts, and then they send the gifts back to Amazon and get credit. Kentucky. Yes, it is, but it's damn hot. I like the winters. The summers, it gets too hot. He retired from the park. He knew it like the back of his hand. He was known as Mountain Man. Yeah, and that's what I think. And I think we'll find out that one of them has some kind of fetish about the water or being clean, no perfume. I really believe that. At least the kids have a chance for a decent life now. Yes, and hopefully bad things didn't happen to them. Oh, YouTuber, I'm telling you, if they come from Amazon, they're probably sent back for credit. I'm telling you, you don't know how many YouTubers, not just in this community, but in different genres on here, people send them gifts and then they send them back and get credited with the gift card. No, I believe that too. At least Don told the truth. Yes, Lori, the humidity is terrible. So I wouldn't send any suspects money. I wouldn't send even Fred Hill money because we don't know. Yes, Justin sent them from Amazon. Yeah, and they probably returned them. They can't get money, but they can get a gift card to get what they want. No. Yeah, and she ended up giving the dog back, but it makes you wonder. I hope we don't find out they were into bestiality too. You know, all them dogs that just appeared at their property. And then they would bring dogs and then steal dogs, is what Dawn says. Hello, Selena. Good to see you. It just can't, arrest can't happen soon enough for me. Charges. But I'm sure they have to group everybody together to do a press conference because I'm sure they're going to have Hawkins County will have to be there, TBI, and the FBI. Because I was watching a lot of the press conferences from the beginning too, where they said they brought the FBI in because they believe it crossed state lines. So, did she cross state lines and then was brought back? I'm sure there's going to be a lot that comes out that we just had no idea of. Because I believe their trip to Gatlinburg wasn't for fun. All the pictures they took were outside of the establishments. None of them were they inside having a good time, the children. According to Mary, Dawn was into that at a young age. Wow, I didn't know that. I missed that one. But I believe that. I believe we're going to find out more to it. And I believe we're going to find out that they dressed in costumes, and that's why all them things were took out of the shed with the warrant that one time. I'm waiting for that day to happen. Justice for Summer. Yes, Janice. God, it seems like it's been forever. But it'll be worth it, like I said, if they have an ironclad case. Yes. And she looked drugged there too, didn't she, YouTuber? None of them kids looked like they were having a grand old time. And like I said, I still believe that one picture that there was a woman taking the picture of them kids, and it wasn't Candace or Grandis. I do too, Lori. I believe we're going to find out a lot more things, and it's just going to reinforce the things that Mary has said. At least Mary came forward to the law enforcement when she first found out Summer was missing. And it'll be awful to find out there were other children. But you know, while he was in jail, they did come and get something out of their safe. Was it the camera? Was it videos? Hopefully they got incriminating things there. I think they've been waiting on getting a body to start prosecuting them all. And Candace memorialized Summer with the pic of her in that coffin. Wait, yeah, like she knew it was coming or something. That one video of Summer in the backseat of a car that focused on the crotch area. Yeah, there was numerous of them too. And then they were put on Facebook. People just have to be careful. This world is getting crazy. I watched a thing about this girl let her friend babysit and didn't know the friend had been accused of cracking the skull of 2 other children. Why she wasn't arrested? She had her kids taken into DCF custody. But she was still babysitting other kids. And then she killed the baby, took it to McDonald's, knowing that it was dead, and then handed the baby back to the mother in the car seat that way. You can't even trust people with your kids. You can't trust them with your grandkids. I would never want my grandkid to go to no babysitter. Not even a daycare, because they're everywhere, it seems like. I just like to know how that blood got on Summer's belly. You know, did they rent her out and then get her back and she was injured? And then it makes me wonder if that's what happened with Evelyn Boswell too. Is it the same group of people? Speaking of knowing it was coming, I'd like to know how Don thinks we should accept that angels talk to him, yet he hates psychics. Make that make sense. Yeah. I don't know. I asked Donna, you think you might be a prophet and not a psychic for you to be able to? I don't believe everybody can do it. She says everybody can do it. I don't believe everybody can do it. I believe God gave us all an instinct in us and that we know things, but not to where you talk to them, see them, and see exactly what's going on. Yeah, renting out. And they probably did it numerous times. That's my personal opinion, allegedly. They probably did it numerous times and always got her back. And then something went horribly wrong. Everyone can, I believe. I built mine up. It gets scary though sometimes. Do you take her classes that she gives? See, we were always taught not to listen to psychics. That was horrible, but it makes you wonder if way back when people started knowing what like the government officials were doing, they said, "Oh no, we have to do something about this. We have to make this evil because if people believe what they're saying, it could blow what they were doing behind the scenes." It makes me wonder that now. I don't trust the government now either, just because a friend of mine who's a farmer said they told them that they can't grow their crop and that if they grow, they'll lose their funding. They won't be able to get funding anymore. So they're going to pay them not to grow food, which I think is crazy. If we don't need it, then give it to homeless shelters. Whatever happened, I believe Candace was responsible and Dawn with the cover up. Yep. No, but I've chatted with her a lot in emails, and she does want to mentor me, but I have to wait until I get my SSI. Have it some naturally is why. Yeah, I believe Candace knows. I also believe they know what happened with Rose too. I think that cousin, if it was the male cousin of Candace's, I can't think of his name right now, but he's also connected to the people in New York, which I find that very odd. And then, of course, he's connected to Summer in her household. So it just makes you wonder, how big is this? It's Social Security insurance. Ow, my chair just broke. I think y'all probably heard that. Sorry about that. At least I didn't fall. Yeah, and I just found that a couple days ago, and my mouth hit the floor. I was like, oh my God. Never heard that from nobody on here. Yeah, I'm okay. It just popped. I went to lean back and it snapped. It's time for a new one. Yeah, you remember Candace's friend, cousin, the RSO, who also took care of Dawn's mom, which I find that odd too. The one she went off about, don't talk about my cousin, which then made me want to look up her cousin. And then what I found with the New York connection, I was like, what the actual? No, it's fine. Yeah, Chris Marcos. That's exactly who it is, Chris Marcos. But it's funny, that's her cousin, and somebody he lived with, uses Marcos hyphen Wells. Isn't that weird? So are they both with Wells? It makes you wonder. Like, I wonder what, I haven't found that part out, what Wells that person is. But they all lived in the same household. Yeah, we do. I wish everybody could do this. I know most have them big giant chats though, where they can't even get the questions from the people who come in there. But I like it when it's a small group because I like to get everybody's opinions, what they think, what questions, they have. Yeah, well, I'm worried about y'all who get Social Security if the government don't come to some agreement. That's the first thing they put on hold, which is ridiculous. That's the people who need it the most. I think a few years back they did that. Everybody's checks were delayed until they came to an agreement. Yeah, because like when you go to Josh's channel, everything's going so fast. Or shares, or cracking cases. They have to slow the chat. Doug's. They slow the chat down so much that, or it just flies by, but not everybody gets to be heard. And that's how you learn from one another. Like I say, we don't all have to agree, but as long as everybody's respectful, I like to hear everybody's opinions on what they think. I mean, Killer Looks has been turning out some great content. No, Janice, I do too. I'd stay out of that. I don't even address it when people talk crap about me. When they're have a record 2 and 3 pages long, which I've never been arrested. Knock on wood. I don't think I ever will. They're denying me for my political views, true story, but I have ran fallen on it now. I've been fighting for nearly 3 years. Wow. And then it makes you mad when you see a bunch of drug addicts who get it because they're drug addicts or alcoholics. It makes you wonder how that happened. Yeah, but that's what they want you to give up. That's why they do that. Yeah, I had agoraphobia for 7 years. And then finally I just would go a little further every day until finally I could go out the house without having to turn around and go right back. And then I was fine for years, and then COVID hit. So it makes it hard where you don't want to go, but I make myself so I don't get back to that again. Because it's a living hell when you can't even leave your house. It disrupts your whole life. Well, we can pray that today will be the day. If not, hopefully Monday. But we might have to wait. If they did find her just the other day, we might have to wait till the tests come back. Yeah, it's horrible, Amy. It is, but knowing it and proving it are two different things, YouTuber. I still think Tim has got to be involved in Summer vanishing. I'll be shocked if he's not, because he's sus. He's made himself sus. He's stuck himself right in there. It's one of two things. He's in it neck deep, or he thinks he's gonna make a movie deal when this is all said and done. But I think he's in it neck deep. That's my personal opinion. He's done and said too many things that make you look at him sideways. But all we can do is hope all this seals up, that others get picked up and start talking. Because we know there are others who have guilty knowledge of nothing else. Makes me angry and sad how Summer and her brothers live with those horrible parents. I know. It's sad that people bring children in this world and do that when they should just take them to the local fire station or the hospital and say, these are children, I can't give a good life to. But a lot of them who abuse children use them children as a paycheck in one form or another, which is sad. Like that couple in Georgia who starved one of the kids. They had multiple, but they picked one and starved him to almost to death. He's trying so hard to defend the whales so he won't be seen as a failure as a meteor manager. Well, yes, Tim isn't a dumb person, so how does he see innocence in them? That's just one thing. He's purely creepy, making people sign NDAs. Yeah, that ain't worth the paper they're written on. Yeah, Killer looks. He is good. I wish he would get closer to the mic when he's on and talks. Because I put my TV all the way up sometimes and I still can't hear what he was saying. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here, but I'll either come back live again with that other information in the next few days, because I think you guys will find it really interesting to see that. And we'll see how many trolls we get in here on on that day. I must be coming down with the cold. One of Tim's first acts as meteor was to misdirect from the TBI number. Yes, Lisa. He wanted to make sure that he could filter through what was coming in the beginning. Yes, and I hope all you guys have a lovely Sunday. And I will be back. Like I said, I'm not one to come on every single day, but I want to put out this information. And until next time, you guys, have a happy Sunday.